Hey, Tate here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SAND, or the SANDBOX. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting on here on daily time frame and look at the bearish scenario first. Now again we are on logarithmic scale and this skews things a lot. Now and basically only on logarithmic scale this looks good as an A, B and C into W through a pullback into X and then A, B, C into the wave Y. However, if we are looking at arithmetic scale, we can see how much the wave Y here actually took off based on this count. This is the reason why I don't prefer this count, just because again, if we are looking at around the bottom here of that wave X into the wave end of wave Y here would be around 5400% gain. So that just doesn't make too much sense to me growing this much in a WXY. That's why I have this bullish scenario in place with this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. In here it does look like wave 1 is larger than 3. It doesn't really matter even if it was, as long as 3 was not the shortest. But in arithmetic scale, we can see again that obviously wave 3 here is much longer in price terms than the wave 1 here. But that would end our count up top here. Now one weird thing about this chart that I wanted to mention is this that we had here during the February 2021 all the way to March 2021. We had 3 different divergences yelling to get out of this before this dump downwards that took around 83% of the whole thing down. Now since current highs that we've had, this has already come down around 90%. The current lows that we had here around the June 19th. But yeah, it is definitely noteworthy that these there is some cases that there is this many divergences happening. Definitely not that often though. So that's that. Let's zoom in a bit closer into this current structure that we have, that I have for wave 2. I've labeled this as a WXY, just mainly because of this structure in the start. Then this definitely looks more like a 3-wave, and so does this. So that's why I have this as a WXY. And because it is starting again with a 3-wave structure and does not retrace high enough, the higher degree time frame is again WXY as well. So in here, I would be labeling this as an ABC. I tried to get the count ending here. Is perhaps possible. However, I can't really get anything to link up with this last structure over here if we are looking at that. So that's why I have the X up here instead of X being something like this as a running flat. So yeah, that's the reason in here. It does feel quite a bit better having this as an ABC, in which we would have this pretty good looking 5-way structure, and we can definitely put a 5-way structure here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here as well, although the wave 4 is kind of small here, but I guess it's possible. Now that would bring us to the wave 2 end at the June lows that we had on pretty much all the altcoins as well, and since then we have 2 different counts for this local structure. So let's zoom in a bit more and take a look at those as well. So the first one would mimic the Bitcoin structure, in which we had this as some kind of flat pattern, and overall we would have this as an A, B and C, or A, B and C, somewhat like this. Not quite sure how I would be labeling these. This is possible that as well that we would have this as a WXY. Doesn't really matter. There is possibilities in this labeling this as an ABC for that WS wave as well. So yeah, it doesn't really matter overall. After this W wave was put in place, I would think that we have an A, B and then C wave coming down. Not the perfect, not really good retracement for the B wave either. We are kind of close to the 854 that would be required for this kind of flat, but I feel like we might need to allow that if we want to, at least for this to play out. The other one is way more bearish of a scenario, and having this as a possibility at least makes it that there is still a possibility for that wave Y to get a bit higher than the wave W here. Just a possibility, not the likeliness, I guess. Now a bit closer look into this one. 3 waves in A and 3 waves in B, and then 5 waves as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This structure is very similar to the Ethereum and Bitcoin that I have as on the other charts. So if you want to be looking at those charts, or if you want to be getting deeper into this structure there, make sure to check out those videos as well. But yeah, to me this looks pretty good, ending down here. At the lows we do have some kind of divergence between the third and fifth and this last leg, although it is not again perfect. We probably need to go zoom in a bit further to see some kind of divergence at these lows to make it possible 5 ways. But yeah, that is that. Either wave 4 is ending here or here, does not really matter. We can have some kind of triangle here as well. Some issues with this as well is we had very high RSI here on this pump, so that's why I did not have it as a triangle. We can have it definitely multiple ways, 3 waves and so on. Now basically what is next on this count is still that we would be looking for higher prices for this wave Y, so a 3-way structure coming up to these highs. Minimum extension would be around $1.32 area and would be happening the earliest at 19th of September. So that would be the area I would be starting to look for short setups or taking out some of the coins that I have invested in Sand. So these would be the levels. This would be all the way up to around 1.618, not to the 2.236, so around $2 area. Now how would this fit into the overall higher time frame picture? Let's take a look. Is by having this as a correction end, it doesn't really make too much sense. If we are creating a corrective structure from here higher, then it would mean that okay, we've created a 3-way structure down here, then we would be creating another one, and then well, that's a dump to the 0 line. So it is very bad looking an overall structure if we want to be coming down again after this WXY has been put in place and do something like that. We could even be taking out this previous wave 4 area for sure, around 14 cents, if it gets that bearish. At that point again, this would be the area where Bitcoin would go to sub 10k. But yeah, that is just one scenario. We don't need to be too scared about that either. Then the second structure here on a more local time frame, again, I could not get any kind of 5-way structure out of this. I can't really make a good looking diagonal. This would be the diagonal we would be looking at. We would not take out the previous thirds, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and where's the 5th? We don't take out the previous third, so that's why I don't like it at all. And instead I'm just looking at some kind of 3-way structures instead. So as mentioned on the first count, I was talking about this being possibly a 3-way structure, so that's what I've got here. 3-wave here, and then some kind of 3-wave here. Possible triangle does not really fit into the idea of RSI here. We can definitely just use this as a 3-way structure like so, and then 3 ways. At that point, however, we can't really get a good looking 5-way structure in here unless we want to do this as some kind of very weird looking diagonal. So doesn't really matter. The point is that okay, we have a count, a 3-wave count that does something like this, ends here, starts here. Okay, so that's the differentiation between these two counts. One of them is ending at these highs, one of them is ending at these highs. So yeah, that's the only differentiation. This is just because, again, this 5-way structure here is either a start of something or an end of something. Either it is start of something new for this structure that I'm showing you here as an A wave, or it is again the end of something as the C wave here, or that X wave before reverting higher. So in this case, we would be looking as well to the higher target. This time not that high, $1.03 around there would be the minimum target, and around 15th of September at the earliest, I would think. This would give us some kind of three-way move here. Let's see if there is some kind of confluence with the volume here. There is some kind of volume bump here. That was probably this one, yeah. So yeah, that would be around the 38.2. So that is definitely one of the targets where I would be taking profits on this if I was on here. Now, there is of course a chance that we are going to get an opportunity to go long on this. On a smaller time frame, this, like many other altcoins as well, does have a pretty good looking 5-way structure here. If it comes down here into the 3-way structure, coming back to possibly this area here around 87 cents, I would be looking for long setups here, definitely. Let me just put an alert here, for example, and then we could be heading higher. I don't think, oh well, of course we could have this as an ABC here and create another ABC and ABC, creating a larger WXY, or we could have 5 waves in here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 waves pullback, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be a bit more bullish, or getting us the price higher. But yeah, those are the options I see at the moment. Looking for higher on both counts. So if the price goes below here, then I think this idea is invalidated. At least the idea of having the A wave end here would be invalidated. On many other altcoins and Bitcoin as well, this structure here has retraced so much of this move that I don't think it is the way forward anymore. Here on SAND, we are right around the 0.5 retracements. So technically, we could still have this and come down and create that divergence on the lows. But again, if we are having confluence for the other coins, then I don't think that is going to be the case, and instead we are just going to be creating a possible 3-way structure here after this wave 5 here is complete, and then heading higher. But I feel like that is pretty much all the scenarios I have currently for SAND. If you made it this far in the video, I would appreciate the likes, and link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you next video. Bye bye.